up, y'all? It's your girl, Bougie Candy, and I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in and plugging in to Women Unplugged.
Yes. I'm Penny Maud, Penny for your thoughts, aka Annually with the pen.
Okay, and I'm your girl, Lavina J. I got the news, I got the tea, whatever you need.
Y'all go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at WomenUnplugged_. Yes. And thank you so much,
Lavina. What's the news?
Okay, so did you know that March is Women's History Month?
Hello.
Okay, and we actually just passed International Women's Day, which like a lot of women on social media and everywhere, we gave a lot of love. And I actually saw a lot of love. Which
a lot of
really
empowerment.
Dope.
Yes,
it was really dope.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know that it actually only started off as 1 week?
Wow, okay.
I didn't know that.
So originally, Women's History Month only started off as 1 week, and it started as this task force in Sonoma, California, which was a group of female educators. And they decided that they wanted to support and uplift each other. Mm-hmm. So they made it a thing for them for a week.
Wow.
And as it started progressing and getting like a lot of light shone on it, they essentially posed it to Congress to make it a week for America.
Right, a national thing.
Yes.
Right.
And so after doing that, in 1980, Jimmy Carter actually did the first presidential proclamation to claim it a national week. Mm-hmm. And then after that, as we progressed, by the time we got to 1987, honey, they made it a month.
It was
a whole month.
Right.
It's
a whole month. Right.
Yes. And I thought that was really dope and something really great that President Jimmy Carter said. This is a quote from him. He said, "From the first settlers who came to our shores, from the first American Indian families who befriended them, men and women have worked together to build this nation. But too often, women are the unsung and sometimes their contributions go unnoticed.
Exactly.
But the achievements, leadership, courage, and strength, and the love of women built America, and it was vital that of the men whose names we know so well."
Exactly, because we are constantly that backbone. We always are seen in art as listed as the backbone or the backbone for the man, mm-hmm. and we really don't understand that sometimes as women what that means or what that means in society,
and then
of us really being that support system.
Yes, and we created a conversation around it. Like, even y'all know the quote, behind every great man is a great woman.
Right.
And I love the fact, first of all, I love the fact that he spoke about the Indians.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think that's super important in the culmination of America that we have that conversation.
Right.
Like, we just now finally getting to the point where it's Indigenous People Day and not about Christopher Columbus.
Right.
But I think it's super dope that he did that, and it's a quote that I never knew.
Right,
so
yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, did you know?
No, I didn't know. I mean, we don't really acknowledge enough or know the history or dive deep into the history of the things that are, mandatory now or are acknowledged as laws or national holidays, and the real fight in blood and sweat and tears that will put into those little things is voting, or those little things that being able to go to a integrated school.
Yes.
Just little things that we just take for granted. Martin Luther King Day, or Black History Month. It is the shortest month, but it's still a month. So the leap year. I was just about to say 29 days. We're getting there. But all right, so we do have to acknowledge the progress that's been made and the steps that kind of went into it.
And I definitely think recognizing women as the backbone of the country just sets up a different kind of structure and foundation when you think of it that way.
Right.
It really does.
Okay, so we're going to take it a little heavy.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you guys have been watching or listening, but there was recently major injustice in our judicial system.
Oh, yes.
That has to do with Nathaniel Woods.
Has been viral on Instagram, has been going viral on social media. It's just blatant ridiculous at this point in the year 2020. We have still come so far, but we are still so far behind.
I've been reading the story, and according to Fox News, Daniel Woods was accused of killing 3 police officers in 2004. And as I was reading the story, it just went to, he was obviously an African-American man. It started off, he and a friend of his being accused of selling drugs, and, police arrived and that's kind of where it began. But I think the kicker for me, where I really feel like I want to know what you guys think about the injustice in the judicial system, is the fact that, according to Fox News, Carrie Spencer, who was the friend of Nathaniel Woods, who was with him when they were found, he confessed.
He confessed to what?
He confessed to the murders.
Oh, wow.
That
he was the one.
He was the one who did it. He said he 100% did it, and that Nathaniel was
He's
completely innocent. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he confessed in a letter that was obtained by Fox News. However they got it, I don't know, but it was obtained by them, and he confessed. So, what would you guys say that we need to do to help this system, right? Because it can't be like we can't blame one person for everything. But what do you feel like are some things that we can actively do to make sure that this doesn't happen? Because, we have people like Kim Kardashian, she's coming to the forefront and just really rallying for these type of stories and making sure that injustice that has been done a long time ago can be rectified. But what do you think just we as people, as women,
civil rights. It's still the same civil rights that we were fighting for back then that we have now that we're not educated on. I feel like an affidavit should have been written. I don't want to get into the legalities, but I know affidavits, when it comes to the law, having a legal statement that's notarized can mean so much in court rather than you just going there. Even if you can't afford a lawyer, even if you don't trust a public defender, that affidavit is a legal document that can give your word that same weight as an attorney, or the same weight where a judge will look at that and can look at that and adhere that as evidence, rather than you just speaking on the behalf of yourself or speaking on behalf of the loved one. You speaking as a person in court is not the equivalent to you having something notarized on a legal document. And it's something that we can all write up. It's a simple form, and I don't know, like just starting with the education, but that's something that I know.
That is the biggest part. Is the education. Because then, Penny, what would you say? Because the Attorney General, the Attorney General of Alabama, where the crime was committed, his name is Stephen Marshall, but he actually made a statement that night. And as you guys know, via social media, there was a lot of calls made to the mayor's office. People were really rallying for Nathaniel to get his rightful treatment, and unfortunately we all know that he passed. But the Attorney General, Steve Marshall, said, "Tonight justice has been served. Nathaniel Woods was one of 2 cop killers in the bloodiest day in the Birmingham Police Department, and he just met his fate."
Oh, wow.
That was his final quote.
Honestly, I have a question before I get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Was his friend who did confess, was he even arrested?
I actually don't know to this point. It hasn't been said in anything that I've read, but I just know specifically his letter was found, it was received, and it has been posted. You can go research it and read it.
Wow. Is he also a black man?
Yes.
Okay. I just feel that it's because, and I feel where you're coming from, Candy, with doing the proper paperwork and having something where you can represent yourself properly and have your voice be heard. But at the same time, we're talking about a system that was built for us to not have voices, period. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like this is really an abomination to this country, an abomination to us as a people. I just feel like we're to a degree, not to a degree, I feel like this was just one of those things where let's just make an example out of this person.
Right, you're right.
Even for someone like Dylan Roof to be treated with the kid gloves, so to speak, the way that he was after doing a heinous crime that he blatantly did.
Right.
And that he did.
Right.
For this gentleman to have gone to be taken from us from his family, the way that he was taken from them, it's just really, it's baffling. And it's just damn, because you think what can I do in future reference to help out in the community, or if it comes a little close to home, how do I handle this? But at the same time, it's just it's hard not to feel helpless. You do, of course, want to figure out a solution, 100%. But it's also just like, bruh, it's like we're damned either way to a degree.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So what Candy was saying, I think the biggest point is the knowledge.
Yeah.
Like having knowledge and not being afraid to have those conversations, which I always say, not being afraid to have those conversations in your own home, because that is the most important. Like when I think about my kids, I think about the fact that I want to be the one to bring up those important conversations, so that way when they go out into the world, they're making an informed decision based on what they know. And it could be based on an opinion. Like it could be based on the fact that we're people of color, and that is the perspective that I'm speaking from. And that's
their decision may not necessarily change the outcome.
Exactly.
And I guess the reason why I was approaching it from a legal standpoint is that too often, you have both sides of the sword, right? We're in history. We have fought, you know what I'm saying? We've done the paperwork, we've crossed our T's, we've dotted our I's, and we've still gotten fucked over, right?
So to that, I think that is definitely the second point. I think the second point is getting more people of color inside the judicial system. Because the only way you can change something is from the inside.
Right. And I was just about to say, and with the fact that we have been, messed over so many times, repetitively, actually, still to this day, so it does create this thing like, okay, yes, but we have to get people in there that are educated, that can make these decisions for people who are not as educated, who are not going to be in politics, who are not going to sit into positions of office, but we have to get people in there who are going to make the right decisions for the community and stand by that, while also getting the support from the community. Like it has to be a double thing. It can't have people in office now that are willing to fight that fight, but not have the support from the community, right?
Yeah. That makes sense,
I agree.
Yeah.
So on the lighter note that we end, and you guys know, like, I'm an actress. I love all things. TV, movie, everything. So Self-Made airs on Netflix March 20th. You guys, Self-Made is the story of the amazing, the great, the beautiful, the inspiring Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes.
And Octavia Spencer is playing her. There's so many amazing people playing her. But, okay, so did you know her great-granddaughter actually wrote the book that they're story off of? Her great-granddaughter. And just to go ahead and wrap this up, when asked, her name is Aaliyah Bundles, and she is the great-granddaughter of Madam C.J. Walker. When Netflix asked her what are 3 words that she would say to explain who her grandmother was. And she said empowerment, determination, and love. But it's impossible to sum her up in 3 words.
Right.
Wow.
And I thought that was
adorable.
So
amazing.
Great. So
That's
you guys,
adorable.
Make sure you check that out. It is coming in just a few days.
Yes, please do.
Ending the news on a lighter note and letting you guys know what
thanks, Lavinda, for the news.
Thank you.